UCLA Bruins have an over-under win total of 5.5. Over is at -144. Under is at +118. Obviously, 5.5. Over at +130. Under at -160. The story of the UCLA football program is Nico Iamaleava. But of course, we have, as we've mentioned, even with Deshaun Foster, offensive coordinator coming in Tino Sunseri. You've got a team that, as we documented here on the Cover 3 podcast, just got better throughout the regular season. Are those the foundations and building blocks for a step forward? That's kind of the question here. Will UCLA be a bowl team? Can they be better to start the year than they were a year ago? And can they continue to build on that? So, Bud, what are we doing?
We're going over. Nebraska gets my award for the biggest offensive coordinator upgrade in the country. But if I had to give a second place, a first runner-up, it would be UCLA. I think that's going to be a massive, massive improvement for UCLA in terms of offensive coaching. I'm a little worried about the defensive line here, to be honest. Just that's they got some guys who are veteran, but not a lot of guys who had a ton of production. The schedule is a difficult start, right? Utah may be really good out the gate. I guess we'll see. But oh man! All right, I'll tell you between teams. I just got the verdict on my pool. Not great. So let's go and cash this total.
He's going to need to win this one, folks.
Yeah, give this motor. All right, let's get it done. Thanks, man.
Oh, Bruins!
No, Bruins over. Okay, so Utah, I think, is a difficult start. At UNLV is actually a really tricky game for a UCLA team that I'm not sure has a whole lot of defense. But, man, I do like their ability to go outscore a lot of the teams on this schedule. I think they can score on Northwestern. Penn State, not so much. At Michigan State, I think they can absolutely score on them there. I think they can score on Maryland. I think they can score on Indiana. I think they can score on Nebraska. I think they can score on Washington. And we'll see, how what shape USC is in at the end of the season. I think Nico has a lot of talent, and the schedule is brutal. That's why the win total is 5.5 and not 7.5. But if you can survive that UNLV game, that's key. If you lose that, you're probably cooked here. I just think this team's going to score. I do. I think they're going to be able to score enough points and be not a bottom 5 offense in this conference.
I'm on the under. I think UCLA will be very fun to watch as far as a football team this year because I agree with Bud. I think offensively they could be pretty exciting. Defensively, I'm concerned about them along the defensive line, and I'm also kind of concerned about them in the back seven. Although I do have, they brought in a lot of transfers there. We'll see how that goes. It could work out well. It could be an absolute disaster. I don't know. But the schedule to me is difficult, like Utah to start, and then you've got to go on the road to UNLV, and that's going to be Dan Mullen, Alex Orji, and the Whoopsie Daisy King just coming at you. That could be like a 55-52 kind of game. So I look forward to watching it.
And Justin Flo.
Yeah,
you want to talk about names? I think Vontez Burfict is an assistant coach on that staff, or like a defensive analyst. I mean, it's a real who's who, a real character, a lot of characters there with the Rebels football program.
Yeah, and it's also, you've got 6 road games, and I know USC is across town, but that's still like a 4-hour trip if you live in LA. And then, UNLV on the road, that is technically still the Pacific time zone, but all your other four road games, like Northwestern, Central, but the other 3 are in the Eastern. And Northwestern is Central, but it's literally on the border of the Central and Eastern time zone. Like, that's a lot of travel for those games. And as I've talked about already, we've seen these teams struggle when they have to make those kind of trips. Maybe they're better adjusted to it in second year than they were in the first. But just based on all that, there's a lot of variance to this team. I don't really feel confident anyway about where this is going to go. I feel like this team could finish 3-9. It could finish 8-4. So I'm still going under. The defense is a very big concern, and the schedule is to me too.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was about to say that the worst case scenario might be 2-10, 3-9. There is absolutely a version of this that goes. I am leaning more towards the positive outlook. I'm going to be going over 5.5 here. I think that you've got, I am buying the narrative. I am buying the narrative that this team that did get so much better throughout the season and now added a player with first round NFL draft tools. And I mean, you can go back and please go through and look at all of our YouTube interviews from Big Ten Media Days. But look at the size difference in the quarterbacks we talked to. There are some quarterbacks
that are large.
That are large, and there are some quarterbacks that are not. And Nico is
on the large end.
He is on the large end. He had his hands on his knees, and those things are like enveloping. I think he could wrap his full hand around my thigh. I'm pretty sure. He's got all the tools. First round NFL draft. There's a reason why he's got that. Why he was a 5-star player coming out of high school. You add that to a team that went 5-7 a year ago. I think that they can get that extra win. So I am on the over here.
Danny's also on the over. I am the lone Bruins hater.